Madden 26 kickoff challenge. We've got 9 versus Henry. And I wanted to break this down. I wanted to talk about a couple of things in this breakdown. Now, I know we're not going to be able to break down the whole game, and I am going to get into that a little bit, talking about the broadcast issue. Just my issue with the broadcast as a whole. Was really frustrated with the direction that they decided to go. And obviously, it's not like they're calling me asking me my opinion, but I do think that it's symptomatic of a bigger issue. Now, what's really interesting, though, is actually this matchup. And if you actually watch the interview that I believe Henry ends up doing later on, he's going to basically say that this guy, Nine, gave him a lot of trouble. Nine actually beat him in ladders, which I might need to go back and find that film and break that game down because I bet you that would be really interesting. But I did want to get into some of the things we're seeing. So first and foremost, Nine, I believe, is in Vikings playbook. We saw they ran the bubble the first play, even though the broadcast was too busy showing a banner and we didn't actually see the first play of the game. Really drives me nuts that they do that. Because here's the thing: we get such a limited amount of access to these games compared to what we had when they first started the MCS. The amount you actually get to see the best players in the world play, especially in Madden, I would argue is actually really small. Shout out to Henry for being somebody that streams consistently his tournament games, streams his ladders, streams his elibs. Most of these guys don't. And honestly, it's a big issue. It's a bigger issue than we're going to be able to get into all today. But I think that it's even more just ridiculous to me that we don't actually get to watch plays because we're too busy looking at a replay or we're too busy looking at a cutscene, as opposed to actually letting the best players in the world perform and letting them be the stars of the show, as opposed to letting the broadcast team be the star of the show. That's just my personal opinion on that. And I would love if we could get back to what we used to have, where you would have 10, 12-hour streams of comp gameplay. You'd have round robin play. You would have round robin play. Then you'd get into bracket play, and it was a whole thing. I miss that personally. Little sidebar. I didn't want to go too far into that, but yeah, I miss that a lot. So, anyways, the thing about this matchup is really interesting. Number one, this position of this linebacker right here for Henry. Now he's going to be in nickel wide. Nickel wide we really have not seen at a top level yet this year. First time we're really seeing that. We saw double mug. Henry ran double mug to get to this, but he's going to be in this nickel wide at least to start. And I believe that means that he is in the Jaguars defensive playbook. And Nine is actually, because he ran that bubble screen, I'm almost positive he's in Vikings. Vikings has an auto motion, it has the bubble, and then it has some other stuff around it. I actually have a breakdown of Vikings. If you're looking for any of my variations of what they're doing, it's all in my school community, school.com/Cody Ballard. That link is going to be in the description down below for just $10. You get access to every single thing that I know about both college football and Madden. What's really interesting about this decision from Nine to run bunch tight end is bunch tight end was the number one offense in college football 26, pretty much clear cut, no questions asked. And we really haven't seen it in Madden 26. And so, really interesting. So, anyways, the basic idea for Henry is he's going to be in this cover two shell. As you notice, this corner, but I believe that when he blitzes, he'll be an Overstorm Brave. That has a specific blitz angle that has this linebacker looping to the middle. He'll engage his user and then peel off. And then we'll get, survive, or we'll get Texas four-man. The main reason why he's in nickel wide, really two reasons. Number one, to contain the quarterback. And number two, the best blocking for the Texas four-man is to double team this D end. And you cannot double team the defensive ends in nickel wide. So anyway, a little bit about the back and forth here, and we'll go ahead and get into this. So as you see here, pretty basic combo for Nine. And he's in empty protection, which kind of interesting. So what you'll see here, here's that Texas four-man stunt. Kind of standard zone adjust for Henry, and Nine is going to take his flat. Did a really good job, I thought, in this game of consistently taking his flats when he was able to. Another thing that you're going to notice that Nine does, if you watch Henry play, if you watch a lot of players play, what they'll do is they'll come to the line of scrimmage and they'll actually like come to the line of scrimmage, make a hot route, right, and then flip. Nine flips basically instantly. And you're seeing that makes Henry have to flip, gives him a little bit of probably coverage tells. You see a little bit of misalignment here that's happening as a result of all this. And he is going to go to this combo right here out of whips. This is the most off meta I've seen so far, and it made a live of it, right? That's why I'm going to take some time to break this down, and we're not going to see this whole game because of the MCS broadcast team. One of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen is what they did with their broadcast. In terms of one of the best decisions, I thought was they actually had a B stream where we're going to get into this later, but we're going to do a breakdown of Fancy Land, but we actually get to see the entire game. But they have a B stream, but which actually showed that entire game. But on the main stream, they then bring up that game on the main stream, and then they take off one of the games on the main stream that you can't now see on the B stream. And I just thought it was so dumb, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more. But anyway, we see here flat, zig, and then on this backside, we have a high-low read, corner, and table. So he probably looks here first, here second, and then works this backside high-low, and then whatever the triangle receiver's on. Notice Henry's going to send the pressure 1, 2, 3, 4. Gets a good A-gap pressure here. And it looks like he actually has a streak for a touchdown, but he decided he doesn't want to throw that. He would rather throw the ball into the ground. I just missed a streak. I'm just kidding. It's so funny, like watching these film breakdowns and watching the best players in the world miss reads. And when you watch it in slow motion, you can see it, but in game, you can't really. It's just things are moving so fast. Here's that cheat halfback seam play with that unique running back streak. He's actually going to motion him out. Really unique here. Again, don't see this, but he's going to motion him out. And essentially, now he's going to so he's going to reset. Trying to do a little bit of a motion glitch, it looks like. Let's see what he's doing here. And he's going to call the TO. Love that Chiefs-Eagles scoreboard bug. Shout out to EA for not fixing that before you were on a major broadcast. Anyway, here we go. So, motion out streak. Now motion into a drag. So he's got 2 drags, an out route, and 2 stemmed up curls. Kind of a unique combo. You don't see this a lot. But first read always is flat. And if Henry gives the flat, he's going to take it. He has had a flat on the bunch side every single time. Every single time. Every play that he's ran so far has had a flat going to the bunch side. Just kind of a little thing here. So you see wide side flips into short side. He's on that cheat motion. And we'll see if he actually stays with this play call here. And he's going to go back to... These are honestly just super basic combos, man. That's what's crazy. Look at this combo here. I love this. I actually love this route combo. This is a super underrated one. Let me see what he does here on the left side. So he has a flat. Now, I would have done it a little differently. What I would have done is flat, slant, return route. What he does is he does flat, return route, slant. But then what he does that I think is really smart is he actually streaks the tight end. And then he has a table. Now, you could also do like a 20-yard in as well, but he decides to streak him. So, first read, always the streak. Now, he's actually had this a lot. I'm surprised he's not pass lead inside. Click on get user catching that, which of course I say that, and he does, and he overthrows it. All right, so missed the seam streak, and that's going to bring him up on a 4th and 2. So Henry does get him on a 4th down on his first drive, which is obviously always good. One of the things that I've kind of noticed is that the first drive is really more of a fill-out drive. You'll see a lot less like super heavy blitzing. Typically, you'll see a little bit more coverage first drive. So we'll see what he goes with here on 4th and 2. We'll see if he shows us the combo. Probably will here. Yeah, it's a really interesting combo here to me on a 4th down. I'm not a fan of it. Now he's going to motion out, so it might be a little better here. Yeah, that's that stemmed up curl thing. I guess that's his thing. He's going to go with a 20-yard curl on both sides here. And then Basically his initial read is the nice part about this tight end, I will say the nice part of the tight end on the stemmed up curl is he can throw it like a seam streak, basically, right off the snap. So he's probably looking right there early. He sees Henry's user bail. So what I would say is his eyes now naturally should probably hit right here. I kind of hate, honestly, this drag um, right here. I would rather this be like an out route or even a curl, because the problem is you'll see like the flat defender is going to pull to the inside. So we'll see what he actually hits here. But as you see how the drag, if this is an out route, this flat defender will go more out there and it leaves this massive pocket. But instead he uses a double drags, back it up, and he's just going to force feed his curl. And there he is, I mean, really just kind of an odd play that works out for him. But I think if he puts the out route there, it's a lot more open. But that's just my 2 cents on it. Obviously, he's there and I'm not. So, anyway. Let's see what he ends up going to here. First red zone possession. This is a red zone combo that he is going to use. Now, I would bet this tight end is on the curl. Now, why this combo? So, against cover 2, which is the number 1 coverage he's going to get down here, this flat will pull this cloud out. The yellow zone will be pulled to the middle of the field by the streak, and what you're hoping is to basically create this little box right here where you can throw this route. Or let's say he clouds this side, then the flat is a little bit more open. What I would assume is this is a curl to the back of the end zone here, and what that purpose is to basically kind of put a high-low stress on the yellow zone on the right. So kind of see here. So as you see, the flat gets pulled out by the flat route. Henry sends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as you see here, basically this is exactly what he wants, because as you see, there's no yellow on this right side that the Texas route is going to get wide open. But as you see, Henry's user is there. He's kind of engaged, but some freaky stuff could honestly happen. He could potentially lurk this, but he got what he wanted over here. That cloud is, that flat is getting pulled. And so, honestly, if he's patient on this, it's going to be wide open. He ends up choosing to throw the ball basically high pointed out of the back of the end zone. I don't know if he threw it away or if he threw it actually to the tight end there. But I think, too, like the pressure obviously plays a part of that. Every good defense ever has got some level of pressure, and Henry's able to get it. Henry's primary blitz, as I said, is he's going to engage and then he's going to peel out. And when he does that, he's hitting the X button on PlayStation or the A button on Xbox to disengage from the blocker. Maybe a bubble screen potential here. Okay, so take a look at what he's doing. These are the little things that when you slow this down, you can kind of see it. So he audibles to the bubble. He also was like, another thing is he audibles to the bubble late. So he sets up a whole passing play, then he audibles to the bubble. And when he does that, he actually is going to, as you see here, he's going to ID this outside player right here, probably to get better blocking. And what you see is this does provide good blocking. And then he is going to instantly throw this, I believe, to that guy. And Henry's defender did a good job. But again, it just kind of explains, like, oftentimes there's little things that the top players know that we don't. And so, watching these film rooms really, I think, helps with that. So you see here, ironically, look what he does. He goes to an out route. He goes to that out route on this left-hand side. And then he does a combo. I saw a couple people go to this. I don't know why this is popular in the red zone, but it's basically double slants. Maybe for, like, man, I would think return route, but he does a slant. And so he does double slants here. He has that tight end clear out. He loves that tight end streak. And, I mean, you're seeing it almost every time. So here you see man up, and then Henry basically just gets out leveraged. And this is the problem with engage blitzes. Henry's user is stuck in the offensive line. He can't get back. And so 9 is able to just pop this little slant right in a soft spot. It's a great route. It's a route you should be running, in my opinion. If you run bunch tight end or trips tight end, just that basic tight end streak, running back flat, and the backside slant. It's a hard route to defend. And then what I would do is put a return route there, but that's what I would do. So anyway. All right, so that is kind of a pretty relatively clean first drive for 9, and you kind of see like pretty clean offense. Henry's defense played good. He had to drive him down the field, but wasn't able to get the stop. Now we're going to see Henry on offense, which I'm excited about because really this year, and honestly, and here we go with the red zone stuff. The other thing is, if you notice, this Elgato capture is terrible. Like you see how it's lagging. You cannot have that. There are 50,000 people live watching this game. You can't have quality like this. Not for a whatever it is, 1.6 million dollar prize pool. The stakes are too high. They've been doing this for too many years. This can't happen. This has to be tested. There has to be something. So to me, this is really, really, really bad. And we just need to get off of this game. I don't know why we're still looking at this game. This is the problem, because this was what I was talking about. This is the B stream. In the B stream, now they're putting it on the A stream, and we can't actually watch the Henry game. To me, that's problematic. What we'll do is we will look at this from a split screen, just because they kind of made it so we have to. So I'll try to break I'm going to break the Lambeau game down separately. I'm going to try to break the Henry game down a little bit here. As you see, he's just working his way up and down the field. I did want to see what 9 was in on defense. And the easy solution to all of this is post the games individually the next day, so you can actually watch the games. I understand if you're trying to have a red zone feel, kind of like Sunday NFL ticket type feel. Like, I totally get that if you're trying to accomplish that. But then post the games the day after. Heck, people could pay to watch those games. I would pay for it, and I know a lot of people would, because people that love Madden love Madden. Just like people that love the NFL love the NFL. People pay for NFL Plus so they can literally go back and watch every single game, and they can watch film on it. So I would just like to see. I just thought this was a really, really bad decision, and especially because there's an actual stream for this game that's completely devoted to this game. Why are we split screening over here? Why can't I just, you know what I mean? And it's not even like a red zone real. I mean, it's just ridiculous to me. So anyway. And then they also did like a staggered start, what I actually thought was a good idea. What you should have done is play these 2 games, then play these 2 games, and then play the semifinal, and then you would accurately actually use the B stream, because you could always have you basically could do like, so for the quarterfinals you could do like Henry and 9 in stream A, and then Lambeau and Fancy in stream B, and then that would just be that. You could then have like a separate, honestly, red zone stream if you wanted to, or at halftime do like an update or something like that. Like, there's ways to do that. Then you could do quarterfinal number 2, which would be football and John and Gucci and Drini, which they already kind of did, which I'll get to when I talk a little bit more about the Drini game. But what basically happened is they staggered started it. And so what you had is you had all 3 of these games done, and they did the entire Gucci Drini game on the main broadcast. I thought that was so stupid, because then the B stream is not even being used. It's not even like, you're not even being able to watch the game. So that was a problem to me. And then for the semifinal, they actually did what I thought they should have done with the B stream. They had 1 game on the B stream, but they had 1 game on the A stream. But the entire semifinal was basically this right here, where we had 2 screens. Why not just have the A stream game A, and the B stream game B? So effectively what you would have is you would have 2 games going at once, these 2 going at once for quarterfinal 1, these 2 going at once for quarterfinal 2. And then you would have, let's say, like Henry versus Lambeau and John versus Drini or whatever. And then you could have stream A, stream B, and then for the final, then you do stream A. I don't know why this is rocket science. I think this is super easy, and I was so annoyed that this was the product that they put out. It was ridiculous to me, for the fact that this is literally, I think, the 9 or 10 year anniversary of the MCS actually being a thing. So I thought this was terrible, and it's such an easy solution where you could actually get to watch all games, and they don't have to do the whole thing with the I think the main thing is they don't want to have the people there another day. I think they don't want to. I think they want to have the people there the specific day. So they want them to basically, from what I understand, I think they fly in on Monday and then they do a media day all day Tuesday. Why you need to do a media day all day Tuesday to me is kind of pointless. But then they play on Wednesday, and I would believe they either fly home Wednesday night or fly out Thursday. So essentially, it's we're talking about 3 nights. You wouldn't have to have them there. You can still have 8 people make the live event, which I think eight is the minimum. Last year with having 4 person lives or a couple years ago was stupid. Having 8 person live events to me is obvious. But if you don't want them to have to stay another day, but you can still stream all of the games, you could do the thing that I just said, where you have a stream A, a stream B, and then if you wanted to, have a red zone, have like a separate because have like 1 or 2 of the broadcast team do a red zone, um, where you could actually jump to like a halftime or something. The non-negotiable thing that needs to occur for MCS, and this is 100% I think a non-negotiable thing. Every single game in the final 8 should be recorded. It should be uploaded, in my opinion. It's ridiculous to me that that does not happen. At just a basic level, it is ridiculous to me that that does not happen. There you go. That's my 2 cents. And honestly, this little split screen stuff, you know what it's good for? It's good for Elim Day. It's good for Final 64, Final 32. It's good for those tournament runs. Why in the world we don't have an MCS sponsored broadcast for tournament days and mandatory streams is absurd to me in 2025. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Obviously, super passionate about that, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. Henry's in Wild Trio Close. The whole reason I paused this, I wanted to see what he's actually running. He is running double mug, and you're seeing this kind of new wave of double mug. What we had seen before was spread, and then basically send the pressure. What you're seeing in this tournament is more of them actual mugging the gap and sending like pressure like that. So anyway, that's a big development, in my opinion. Henry, known for this wild trio close, he's going to have play action blocking, and he's going to basically do all of the combos out of motion PA cross switch. Here's one of them. It's a streak. It's a streak. This is a skimbo kind of dagger type setup, drag, and then he sneaks the running back out on the streak. So it's a really nice play. And as you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 9. He's going to back out into coverage. High read to the tight end, low read to the drag. And there's that drag coming wide open, and he's going to be able to hit that and basically just be able to move the ball down the field. So, yeah, just super dumb to me. This was crazy in the fancy game that he missed that pick on the left. We'll talk about that more later on. Fancy, honestly, had a lot of opportunities to win that limbo. All right, we're finally back to full screen. Now, this is Henry's real red zone strategy. Notice what Henry runs here, by the way. We think I'm going to miss this. So he audibles to this. Now, I need to double check and make sure I have the formation right. Let me do one more backup here. It's bunch wide nasty. Okay, bunch wide nasty. Haven't really seen this, but what this bunch wide nasty is it's kind of like a bunch. It's just a little different, but it's a spacing issue. But what he has is he has this fast table route. These are the best table routes in the game. And he actually goes to kind of the same concept that 9 went to, which is the slant, streak, slant. Why this is a red zone combo, I will have no clue. But basically, you see there's the high read. Now, that fast table is so good because if it's a cloud, he can throw this and he can actually rack it upfield and get easy yardage. So right here, the throw to me is right there. That's the obvious read. Of course, easy to say that slow down here, but yeah, I don't know why. I feel like this time doesn't time together like you would want it to, but I guess it does. And as you see, like the user has to kind of user here, and then this route's here. I don't know what they're thinking with that, but basically double slants. I mean, this was wide open. Henry is primarily looking to scramble in the red zone anyway, with the way he plays. And so he does the air truck with Vic, and he's able to get upfield for a quick 5 yards. And now we'll see him in a second and goal situation. A lot to be frustrated about with this broadcast. Here we see a spread look. Now, the purpose of the spread look is really for what you're going to see Henry do here. He actually flips his trips. Um, Kind of interesting. You really don't see a lot of flip trips. They typically, but that audible takes long. But Henry flips his trips, and he likes this quarterback power a lot more than the quarterback zone. So he's going to do that, and you'll see here quarterback power. See if he untargets anybody. I don't think we can actually see that, but he's just going to air truck out of there. Almost very easily could have been a touchdown, but Travis Hunter ironically makes a touchdown saving tackle. And it does appear like this bunch wide nasty. If he's gonna pass down here, he's gonna be bunch wide nasty. Now, at least in general. So he's got this super deep zig route on this right side. So really interesting combo. He has a speed out, and then he has like a super deep uh, whip route, and then on the left side he has a swing. And you're gonna see here he has like a really interesting a return and then like a cross. But basically, right, you're looking flat to zig. Now he sees 9, switches over here. So this is why he has that swing, because it really pulls the flat out. And then that return route, this yellow is too far inside. And there's this little pocket right here where he's going to try to throw that, catch it. The catch it traffic in this game is so powerful. And he's able to answer back with a touchdown. Henry is going to be getting ball at half, which is a significant advantage to him. And now we'll see what he's going to be able to do on the defensive side of the ball. They also still are forcing this kick meter down our throats. He likes to go with mid power kick, keeps it in the middle of the field, makes it so you have to return it. And here he is, nickel wide. We're actually seeing his adjustments. We'll just take a look here because we can. So you see nickel wide. You see no packages there. And then you also see the coach adjustments. He actually has his safety width spread, but I believe he was doing that for a red zone situation. He puts them back on default here. No, he has them safety width spread. I wonder why he's doing that. Maybe that explains that. 20-yard curl flats, kind of interesting. 5-yard hooks, pretty standard. He's going to put them back on default. And then this is really important. You see, shell is cover 2. Very important. Because he can come out in Overstorm Brave, but it looks like cover 2. One other thing, we'll just want to see if it actually gives us the information on his coach adjustments. You have to really be good with your pause here. Let's just see if we can actually see what his can't really see it. You just can't see it, I guess. So anyway, but she's an Overstorm Brave. So Overstorm Brave, as you see, what Overstorm Brave does, he's also doing the stunt like at the line of scrimmage. He's not selecting the stunt when he comes out. He's doing it at the line of scrimmage. But what he's able to do here is when he showed blitzes, this linebacker A-gap blitz angle stays in Overstorm Brave, whereas in other plays, it doesn't. So as you see, kind of back to the red zone thing, I mean, that's just a really nice, like that is a beautiful red zone window to be able to throw that. Good spacing. Here we go. Got to look at the nice quality capture from $1 billion company. And what did I talk about? Broadcast spends so much time being a broadcast that we can't actually watch the game. So here we're actually seeing, though it is cool because we are actually seeing the defense, the defensive adjustments, which they never show it, by the way. Why? I don't know. But you're actually getting to see the defensive adjustments here. And you notice he is definitely an Overstorm Brave, and he is definitely sending it like this. And the safety, this is the safety width on spread. Why he is doing that, I have no idea. I believe it is something very specific for bunch tight end, probably, because I don't think he does that in his next game. So, anyway. Now they are able to flip it. Get back to the offensive perspective, which again tells me that they have all of these games recorded. Why they don't put them on, I don't understand. Kind of an interesting combo here. He's got that 20-yard curl off a cheat motion. He's got the flat in case you cover 2. And then he's got, basically a simple read here. And who called the timeout? Was that Henry? Henry called the timeout right there. Didn't like what happened, I think. I think he called it. Might have been 9. I don't know. Didn't see it. So you see, maybe the spread is for this auto motion. But see, that problem with the spread is this right here. This seam streak is free. And you see he's going to hit him in the seam. And that could have very easily been a touchdown, honestly. Henry's very fortunate that that wasn't a touchdown. If he racks that a little better, that's a touchdown. All right, so flipping the bunch. Here's that bubble. Again, there's that ID on the outside guy. And look at that bubble. Now you get better blocking. So again, if you're wanting to run some bunch tight end, this is something that you need to know about. The one negative to the Jags playbook, they have everything in their playbook. The one thing they don't have is the bubble out of bunch tight end in their playbook. Crazy. So here's that combo again. There's that flat, pivot, and then this backside high-low. Kind of see how he's progressing, but I would assume he's looking right here. Remember, Henry's hooks are on 5, so that's going to actually play that. So now we'll see if he throws this corner to the left. He's not going to. He decides he'd rather try to throw a one-on-one ball and just slightly, honestly, he just slightly overthrows him there. All right, so we're seeing the defensive adjustments. Again, it's so rare that we see that I always like to just take time and actually look at what's going on. So let's go back, take a look here. Let me back this up so we're actually going to see it. I don't even know that he's flipping. So I would assume his defensive motion response is on default, and he's just basically adjusting out of cover 0 from a cover 2 shell. Maybe. Not sure. I was really curious about the defensive motion response. Anyway, so here you see his actual blitz adjustments. So he's sending 4. It appears like he's almost crashing out on his send 4 to get this guy to be wider for the contain. But he's hard flatting. He's hook curl. He's going to engage here, and then he's going to have this pressure. And then these guys are actually in a standard thing. The other thing is he could stunt these guys, and then that gives this guy a little bit better. But anywho, he's also when you play bunch and trips, he will when he plays bunch tight end and trips tight end, he will blitz off of the trip side pretty much every single time. Okay, so you're actually going to see here. This is some for. He's also, I talked about this, but he brings up the substitution menu so he can hold down on his left joystick and then engage with the center. So you'll see here. Again, really cool that we're actually being able to see the defense. So I did not know that. I did not know that you actually saw it here. But there's the crash out. The hard flat is good because it'll play like a drag, but it also serves as a contain. As you see, there's the engage. There's the pressure. He didn't engage long enough, and so the pressure didn't actually come in. But he's able to get back in coverage. And 9 is just basically beating man. Now, why is 9 motioning the running back out a lot? It's because Henry's in a cover 0. He knows Henry's in Overstorm Brave. And so when you're in a cover 0, it can be tricky. And there he goes to whips. He kind of right there just catches Henry off guard with a quick snap. He literally quick snapped the crap out of that ball, and he's able to get 7 on that drive. All right, so let's take a look at Henry's second drive. I think we're actually going to get to see him play offense, which will be nice. Maybe. Got to show the replay. Shout out to the broadcast team. And now we're in a different game. They're not even in the red zone. I get that it's a 4th down, but they're not even in the red zone. Good defense from, and also check out just great quality. And now we're still watching that game. Awesome. They just don't want us to watch Henry. It's crazy. Let's see if we can actually get back to the defensive side or get to Henry's game here. I'd assume they'd move it over there. It's just crazy to me that this game was entirely streamed. The whole game was streamed on the B stream, and yet they're giving it so much time on the main stream. I just think that's so bad. It's just so unintentional, in my opinion. I actually like the idea of like the staggered start of the quarterfinal or doing it like I suggested. Anyway, here we go. All right, we're actually on. So they're going to show us Henry's adjustments again, I think. Or no? Okay, this is nine. So nine is in the double mug, which is the defense that Henry was in. He's also has nickel wide. And so he is in, that tells me he is in the Jaguars playbook more than likely. Here's a coach adjustments, 15-yard curl flats, 5-yard hooks. This is the standard. Close and pinch is the standard that you see. And then he is also in that cover two shell. So that cover two shell is kind of a thing that keep your stuff aligned properly. So Henry worked his way up and down the field. We have no idea what he did to get there, but we do know that he is in the red zone now. And he's back in that bunch wide nasty, I'm pretty sure. So there's that fast table. And then this time it's the streaks and the double slants. I wonder what the read progression is here. I would think it's like flat to streak to slant one to slant two to scramble. He's actually got curls, stepped up curls all the way, which is cool too. But you see how they're so close? And maybe that's on purpose, but you just can't really throw that. Like it's open, but you can't really throw it. And then he's got a broken play, scramble, and Vic's just going to be Vic and down there in the red zone for him. He's going to get 7 out of that. All right, so hopefully they'll show us Henry's defensive coach adjustments. We'll see. Another big tip for your one of the things that I've watched that I've tried to add to my game is checking your coaching adjustments. Like when you get back on the drive, you'll see he'll immediately do it. Watch, I'm almost positive, maybe. So he's subbing in players, but then he should check his coach adjustments. We'll see if he does. Yep, right here. So you see here, he checks his coach adjustments. I think if we really pause this, we can actually get it. And notice he's going to actually switch to 3-3 double mug. Why he's actually making that switch, honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't feel like he was playing bad defense in nickel wide, but he is going to switch to the double mug here. And this is the defense that got him here. Again, there's the 20-yard curl plus. The main thing that really is really interesting about this game is he has these guys on spread. I would assume that's 4 bunch tight end. But I really want to see if he actually shows his motion response. We're gonna do some real advanced film work here. I just can't see it. I can't pause it fast enough. Oh well. That tells me he might just have it on default, honestly. So this is the defense that Henry made popular. Basically, he spreads D-line, spread linebackers. He's going to hover over the user, and he's going to send that blitz. The major difference here, a couple differences from nickel wide. The major difference is the linebacker is here as opposed to being here. So he's a little bit more from depth. More than likely, that is the main reason he's switching to it, because in bunch tight end, because it's such a compact formation, it might be more difficult for that linebacker to blitz in. So anyway, blitz is in, and he is going to stop the run. Obviously here, clocking situation for 9, trying to take the clock here. Again, the safety spread thing is really odd to me. I'm just curious why he would do that. I don't know if it's maybe I just have no idea why he would do that. But he's basically playing man every play, too, by the way. He's not really running so. But here you see, so the reason this is good is because he gets 5 out. He's going to get a little bit more consistency from this A-gap blitz, I think is kind of the main thing. The problem with this is 9 will be able to roll out a lot more because in nickel wide, it's much more difficult to roll out than against double mug. Because in nickel wide, the defensive ends are out here, so they're just wider, right? It's also harder to block the blitz, the stunt. But anyway, here's man. He's pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much like cover 0 every play. But the problem with cover 0 is that right there, the catch in traffic is so good. It's cover 0 is it's kind of hard, but He basically likes man coverage against bunch tight end. There's the bubble. Probably another reason why you're seeing so much man is is for the bubble screen. But it's actually literally cover zero almost every single play. And there's a scoreboard bug, and we're back to split screen. Way to go, EA. Look at that laggy camera. I might not even be able to break that game down because of how bad that camera is. So there's an ID, could be running the bubble here. Yep, bubble screen. Oh, he spun him and he broke him. Oh, he's going to get a free 7. Henry's got to be sick. Oh, that spin. That's crazy because the spin move is like, it's not good, but it's not good. And right there was good. So, all right. So Henry is going to get the ball back. So he's probably not too upset about that, honestly. 9 decided to score there. 2 minutes left. And Henry's going to get a crazy return from T. Higgins. Why you put T. Higgins as your kick returner. He gets the good spin move. The height is going to do that for him. Watch this. Look at that guy just die. I mean, literally just broke him. Henry actually let him score to a degree there. And we're back to this. They're just not going to let us watch Henry on the offensive side of the ball. Is that just what we're doing here? I'd love to watch one drive of Henry on offense. I can talk about what he's doing. That'd be fantastic. Who did he play in the semifinal game? I'm trying to remember. I do think we'll actually be able to watch the semifinal, which will be good. No, we won't be able to watch the semifinal because they did the same thing where they're doing the split screen stuff. At least he'll be on the screen, but anywho. All right, so yep, another red zone. We're getting a real good look at Henry's red zone. Not really getting a look at anything else. We really haven't even seen 9 play defense. But there, takes a little flat pattern, left side. Turn timeout there. 12 seconds here. This is a really big red zone situation for Henry. He does get the ball at halftime. And you notice here that 9 is basically got his zones set back to the end zone. Here we got a little hitch, kind of like a running back almost angle route, but it wasn't a running back angle route. And then we have a slant coming behind that hitch. Watch how fast that slant gets there. So you see there's that slant. He's switching on to go guard the slant. So now Henry's in a rollout situation. And basically here, 9. And Henry going to get down to the 1. Henry does a good job there taking that angle so that if he does get tackled, he's probably going to get tackled out of bounds. Because he doesn't have any timeouts. So that's the risk of that scramble right there. See what 9 goes to down here. He's going to go just basically mid-blitz, send the goons. Henry could just throw this away easy if he doesn't get what he likes. And he's going to throw that away. So we're going to get a field goal here because he gets ball at half. I would take 3. Yeah. So because Henry gets ball at half, he's going to take 3 here. Because what that's going to do is when he gets ball at half, if he goes down and gets 7, then it's going to be, he's going to actually be in the lead. He's going to be up 1 possession. Whereas if he didn't get ball at half, he probably would go for the touchdown in that situation. So, all right, I think we're finally going to get to see Henry play offense for a whole drive. We'll see. Cross our fingers. They actually let us watch the game. This little overlay thing, I get why you do it. Another great return. Why not put, just like March Madness does, why not put this screen? Number 1, you don't need this one because we're watching that game. Why not put these guys aren't playing yet. All you need to do is put this right there or something. I don't know why they did that. And of course, in MCS broadcast fashion, as soon as Henry gets the ball on offense, we're going to put Lambo on the screen. Well, why? And it's going to be in a half situation, which is almost never going to, it's like, what the heck's going on, It's wild. And we're at halftime now. We're still watching the Lambo game. This is such a bad job by the MCS broadcast team, in my opinion. And now we're about to kick off these games at halftime. We're not kicking off both of them, though. We're just going to kick off this one. I just thought this was so stupid. Like, come on. Like, this is dumb. All right, I guess we're just going to have to find Henry. They literally won't let us watch the Henry game. It's actually crazy. This broadcast was so stupid to me. So I think they actually had them like stop, because you see here Henry's game hasn't even started back, so that's also stupid. Why wouldn't you just roll right into halftime? Oh my gosh, there's just so many better ways to do this. It's like they don't think. It's like they don't actually think through, which is surprising that they don't think things through. Just so bothers me. As big of a Madden nerd and fan I am, I can't watch the best players play because we're actually incompetent at this. Whoever's making these decisions, which we have no idea who it is, because we don't have a commissioner anymore, which is crazy. Anyway, motion cross post. He has a really nice cross flat route. Can't really see. We can get streak. It's basically like smash return. What's nice about this one is you have this flat, and then you have this return, and then you have drag, post, or curl, and then a fade. I actually used a backside in route there. And good read, good rollout, good hit. Henry really just been pretty smooth on offense, honestly. Did get down to 3 at the end of half, but it's been pretty smooth. This is what he's known for. This is the audible to wild trail close motion be across switch. That's actually another little thing here. So what Henry does, watch this right here. So you see that little fire icon. Because 9 is usering this player, Henry is untargeting him. And so what 9 does is actually brilliant. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? He sends 6 with his user, and then you see, look at this. He sent because he's blitzing. He does what's known as the D-pad switch, where he uses his D-pad to switch to a cover player. And now Henry's getting screamed at right up the gap. And even though he was actually throwing the ball to a wide open player, because of the pressure, he can't get the ball off. So now Henry has to think twice about untargeting the user defender. He's going to continue to do that. That's going to be his plan. And you notice here, 9 is just going to send 4. But by untargeting that user, he also does a better job of picking up the edge pressure when 9 only sends 4. Nice little return route there underneath for a couple of yards. It's crazy to me that they staggers. It's crazy to me that they made them pause the halftime for a few minutes while they were doing the story on John. I think that's just wild to me. Wild trio close again. Don't see Henry run this one a lot. This is kind of we'll see how it works out for him. So you see here, send 5. Again, Henry untargets this guy, so the send 5 won't come in. And now the reason why this is brilliant too is because 9 is going to have to D-pad switch, because you see here he blitzes him. He D-pad switches, but he's super out of position, like because of that. And so Henry could throw that right there. He could throw that. He has a lot of options. Instead, he can just scramble out of there with Vic, and he's going to go get some easy yardage there on that left hand side. So that's going to bring up a first down and 10 from the 24. Potential red zone situation. Motion PA cross switch again. Now he's actually going to and this is what Henry will do situationally, right? Now he's going to commit to actually blocking this. So what he does is he blocks his running back. This is his double mug pass protection. He blocks his running back. He's in play action, and he's got it. What he does, you don't really have to. I feel like Madden will eventually patch this, kind of like college did. As it stands right now in Madden, you have to reset your pass protection to base. I think there's going to be a setting eventually where you can just turn base protection on for every play. But anyways, he resets his pass protection to base. He blocks his running back, and he IDs that linebacker right there. And so that's going to block that blitz. So if 9 sends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's going to block it. If 9 sends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to block it. The only thing it's not going to block is if he comes down here with a safety and users here, but he's not doing that, right? He's only showing, this is why it's always important to look pre-snap. Pre-snap here, he's only showing the potential to send 6. He's not giving us send 7 potential. So as you see, Henry blocks, but shout out to 9, he's able to get him to block a running back, and he's only sending 4 people, okay? So all he really has is high-low. That's not going to be there. So he does a good job here. He's going to use the air truck, and he's going to scramble out of there with Vic. Didn't get a great scramble animation there, and he ends up having to basically just eat a sack, essentially. So 2nd down and 12 from the 26. And that is one of his main setups that pretty much always works, right? Take a look at this play real quick. This is what we call like an everything beater. And in my opinion, like if you really boil down like what the best offensive players in the world do, they call everything beaters every single play, right? They have answers for every coverage, every single play. So if you take a look here, you are going to get you're going to get a running back streak. You're going to get a streak. I think it appears that he streaks his tight end, which he doesn't normally do that. And then you have the crosser. So you have 2 streaks clearing out. As you see, you have a high-low between this crosser and the circle receiver. And then your alternate receiver, which is what he ends up throwing here, is that running back in that little seam area. And that is being cleared out by the tight end on that vertical streak. Now I'm going to audible again. Wafter close. And he's going to go to the zig play. So this one right here, he's got a running back on an in. He's got that stock crosser. He's got this streak. He's got a out route. Whoops, an out route. Whoops, my pen's going crazy. Okay, pen's going crazy. Out route, whip, and basically he can hit like these little spots underneath, super underneath attacking play. So just see first read is here, second read is here. Good switch stick by his user. Third read is probably the running back crossing the field. And notice that this cloud backs up. So Henry ball should go here. We'll see if he throws it there. And instead, he sees a scramble opportunity, so he gets out here with Vic on the scramble. He's looking for that crosser. Good switch by 9, going up there. What Henry will normally do is if you go to the crosser, he should scramble because he has numbers at this point, and he is going to scramble with Vic. Henry pretty much always scrambles, but also 9 is kind of always playing coverage. He's not really playing the scramble. But now we have full-on goal line situation, and Henry's going to go to the trips. It's also really interesting to me that when he does get into the goal line, he's actually coming out in trips consistently. He doesn't audible to it. He comes out in it, probably so he can do this flip. And this setup right here, this combo, by the way, I want you to notice what he does. Watch this route combo here. We'll see. Okay, so he normally will have this running back on a cross-field flat. Here he has a table route, which is fine. And then notice he uses the tight end cross. As opposed to like a in, he uses this deep cross to the tight end because that's going to continue to run. So basically here, this has been a trips red zone combo for a very, very long time. And as you see, first read probably is this in route, maybe the table, but that in route is a very quick developing route. You see 9 switches here to take this away. So good defense from him. Now Henry's eyes, I would bet you money, are right in this little window. That's where he wants to throw the ball. And as you see, because he switched here, it's going to be hard to switch back across the field. And he can't get there. And Henry's able to have a beautiful red zone dot. And now we'll see Henry get back on the defensive side of the ball. There's that mid-power kick. In this game so far, man, like going back and forth, right? Really going back and forth. Major difference in the game so far is Henry scored 3 at the end of half, which then put him in a position to have a 1-possession lead. And we're back to Lambeau and Fancy. Awesome. Love to see that. Love to see that. All right, I'm just going to try to fast forward this. I think they're going to give us the Henry game again. I really wanted to break this game down, though, because 9, in my opinion, really gave Henry the biggest amount of trouble. But here you're going to see Henry do what Henry does. So 21-24. Notice what Henry's in. He actually gets out a double mug and nickel wide, and he jumps into dollar. Um, what he's going to do is he is going to send four like this, and basically this is a bend but don't break, almost shed defense because everybody kind of knows how to block the splits. You do have some protection, but anyway, what you'll see here is he's got kind of a essentially it's just a zone switch stick defense. Block the blitz perfectly, just trying to keep Vic kind of somewhat in the pocket. And 9 is going to try to throw that curl. Henry did a good job switching it. And he's going to lurk it. He's going to get a big stop. It's a huge play for Henry. 9, obviously frustrated with himself, made a bad decision. And that is where those curl routes are like so good. But then they do that, you know. And some of that's just switch stick, but Henry was able to kind of sit on the curl because he's been doing a lot of curls, right? Stepping up curls. So anyway, here's another combo at a wow, show close. You have a drag, you have a return route, a streak, and a cross. Basically, this is going to be your clear out read. This is going to be your high read. This is going to be one low read, and this is going to be the second low read right there. So typically, he'll probably peak this streak right there. Now he's probably getting right here to the drag, and then that in route to the back. That in route is going to clear out space. This is good defense from 9. And Henry does a good job of trusting that return route into a pocket, into a kind of a tough area of the field to actually be able to complete it. But he is able to complete it. Second down and 4 from the 30. Motion PA Chris switch audible, sets it to base. And again, this has been the play call a lot this game because of how 9 is playing defense. 9 has played a lot of like zone switch stick shells. Got a touchdown here up top. We'll see if he wants to throw it. Saw it a little bit late. Able to just scramble out of there with Vic and just get a free 20 yards. That's how good Vic is. That's how good the scrambling is in this year's game. That's why really the best defense is keep the quarterback in the pocket. Easy read there to the drag. Able to just take that quick drag across the middle for a very, very easy completion for Henry. So again, you're seeing, I mean, drag crosser, drag post, drag crosser, drag post. I mean, this is the combo. Now, another reason why Henry's going to this is if you notice, his hooks are on 5. So the running back streak is a major threat when the hooks are on 5. And as you see, he's able to hit that in a nice little window and just take what the defense gives them. And Henry's going to come with gas right now. This is to a degree, a little bit of a put away drive. This puts Henry in a 2-possession lead. Really puts him in a good spot if he can score 7 here. So he's picking up the pace, picking his pace quickly. And right there, you get kind of a tendency break. 9 sends 6 out of man. Looks exactly the same as zone because of the shell feature. And he's going to get a big sack. 2nd and 18. And it's also going to push Henry back significantly here. So Henry on targets. There's the blitz. Henry knows. Now, the thing that Henry's doing a good job of is he kind of trusts his read so much. This is why you're seeing this post over time, because if he comes in like that, he knows he can just pop this post, and he's able to hit that into a tight window and get all the way down to the 10. I don't know what's going on with the football there. Going a little cray-cray, but good read from Henry and puts him in a position to be able to score down here in the red zone. He's going to throw a beam. Take a look at what he does here. So this is why the scramble is so good with Vic. These hitches, man, they're so valuable. It's a curl, but he stems it down. Tight end crosser or post. He's out of here. That cloud is in so much conflict because the cloud has to respect the scramble, also has to respect that route. And so you see here the cloud, honestly, to a degree, just late. He can't switch back fast enough. A little bit too late. Too little, too late. Henry going to go up 31-21. And now he's in full control of this ball game, really. He's in full control of the ball game. He got the one stop he needed. And now we'll see what Nine's able to do offensively. See if Henry's basically playing at this point to put the game away. If he gets a stop here, very difficult for Nine to be able to win this ball game. And so we'll see. We'll see what Nine is able to do defensively, or what Henry's able to do defensively. Nine is going to go to. Oh, I'm sorry. We are back to Lambeau and Fancy. So let's skip to where we're back to Henry. All right, here we go. All right, so Nine kind of just working up and down the field here. And that bunch tied in. There is super deep in route. And he's going to just trust that. Henry drops a pick. That could have been the game. Let's see what he goes to here. We got flat, return route, drag. This is the combo, man. A lot of this. And then this backside high low. This time he just takes that running back. That running back flat. Backside. Going to get about 5-ish yards. 3rd and 5 from the 29. He's got to score, kind of a tough spot here. But he's not in a bad spot. He needs to score, and then he needs to either hold Henry to 3 or get a onside kick. But he does have to score first, and he really, objectively kind of needs to get 7 in this position. So that's probably why he's going for it on 4th and 1 here. Henry is selling out to get a stop. He's going to blitz everybody, and we're going to see what 9 does. This is where Henry's, we'll see here. So he's showing it at blitz everybody, but he actually just Texas 4-mans. But Henry coverage bust. Honestly, that's a legitimate coverage bust. I don't think Henry expected that. I think something happened with his adjustment, because that was a very free touchdown in that situation right there. He's in mid blitz. This should be manned up. Why is this guy over here? Why is this guy not here? Maybe he did that on purpose, but he just didn't play good defense, really. He kind of gave a free touchdown. Now, obviously, he was selling out to try to get the stop, but that auto motion is a streak every single time, and to just give up a very basic route, kind of, I feel like maybe something with his adjustments, like maybe he messed up his adjustments. All right, so onside kick, going with low kick all the way to the left, all the way power, and that was not even really close to being converted. And Henry's going to get the ball about the 50. Now, he might have intentionally, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But he's going to have to get a stop here. So, thank you so much for putting this game back on. I'm so thankful for that. I guess we're getting a walk down drive. They're probably just not going to show the Henry game. That's probably going to be it. I think that's definitely going to be it. That's going to be... So we're not even going to get to see it. Yep. Basically, that's really unfortunate that they're just not going to show us the game. Probably actually tweeted something out about that or posted something about that on X. This was a great game, but it's like it has its own stream. We're just gonna miss the last bit of the Henry game. But basically, Henry gets first down and kneels out the clock, and that's GG's. So that's all I know. I don't know exactly how it happened. Shout out to the broadcast. Kind of the theme of this video was how frustrated I was with the broadcast team. I thought they really did a very, very poor job. I don't know who actually made those decisions. I'm not saying it was Nick. I'm not saying it was any of those guys. I'm saying whoever made the decision to format this stream format like this was really, really, really bad. It was a really, really bad decision. It really hurt the event. The viewership dropped off significantly. Uh, at some point, in my opinion, the best players in the world need to be highlighted. They need to be. You need to be able to watch their games. Which John Base, by the way, 21-0-88. Love to see what's going on in that game. But because of the way they formatted the broadcast, you're really not even able to actually even watch one of the quarterfinal games, except for this one, which was captured with a actually terrible, terrible capture card or bad settings or what. At some point, MCS needs to take accountability for the fact that their product is not where they want it to be, not because the audience isn't there, but because they are not doing a good job. That is the biggest beef I have with this event. The players, there's so many storylines. The players are there. The elite players having elite players, elite storylines, elite gameplay. And they have all that. We need a competent team who is going to make positive decisions for the the big tournaments that people spend a ton of money on to compete in. So I thought this was really unfortunate on EA's part. But I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of Henry and Nine. Nine seemed to give him the most trouble, and honestly, the main reason Nine got stopped was he just basically made a bad read, made a mistake, right? But offensively, it just shows and highlights that the bunch tight end is a very viable offense in this game. I'm gonna be diving into the Vikings myself, taking a look and seeing what I can do out of it. But that is the breakdown, and thanks for watching.